Are you stressed? Do you always struggle making all A's? Do you struggle to keep those A's? Do you struggle to turn in your work on time? Or do you procrastinate a lot? If you have any of those struggles, this video is for you. Hey guys, it's Mari Elaine, and today I'm going to be showing you how to maintain all A's and how to get all A's. So let's get into the video. So the first tip is to make sure you have a good impression, make a good impression, because say like it's towards the end of the school year or this end of the semester and you really need to bring your grade up to an A or at least a 90 or something like that. Usually your teachers are more likely to like bump your grade up if you show them how hardworking you are. If you always ask questions in class, if you always ask for extra credit, if you always do your work on time, but your grade's still not all the way up there, towards the end of the year, if you like let them know that you need that grade to go higher, they're more likely to help you out, give you more opportunities, or they may even just bump your grade 1 or 2 points because they know how hardworking you are. So if you make sure you give your teacher that impression that you are a hard worker and that you're willing to do everything that it takes to make good grades, then usually they will, bring your grade up. Another tip is to ask questions in class. So like when a teacher is teaching you something, make sure you ask questions if you need questions to show your teacher that you're very engaged. Or if they ask you questions in the classroom during a lesson, make sure you try to answer them as well to show them that you know the material that they're teaching, and also so that it kind of makes them favor you in a way. I'm not saying go out here and be a teacher's pet, but just make sure the teacher knows you're paying attention. Also, if you see me looking down a lot, I have my notes on my paper, so I'm gonna be looking down on my notes just a little bit to help me, answer these questions for you guys. Also, I probably already said this, but make sure you use the extra credit to your advantage. Like always when your teacher gives extra credit, and if sometimes the teacher won't even announce that they have posted it, but if you see the extra credit is there, or if they tell you that there's extra credit, make sure you do it because it will help your grade average a lot. I personally had a very tough English teacher, and her work was very difficult, so I always made sure, but she always gave extra credit all the time, so I made sure that every time she posted the extra credit that I would always do it because it helped my grade a lot, and I always had a 90 in her class. Another tip is to tackle the harder assignments first. When tackling and doing the harder assignments first, it relieves all the stress off of you once you've achieved those assignments and did them. I had this very all the honor students have this history fair project that they have to do, well, at my school anyway, that we had to do at the beginning of the year, and it was extremely hard and difficult, and it was a long project that lasted about 4 months that we had to do, and I waited the last minute to do it. And I feel like if I didn't wait the last minute to do that, it would have saved me a lot of mental capacity, mental brain, mental. If I'd done that assignment sooner, I would not have been stressed. Yeah. Also, another tip is to not procrastinate. When you procrastinate, you get more stressed, and when you don't procrastinate, it lowers your stress levels. And I personally, I don't know about you, but I hate being stressed. So get the stress out of the way first, and then when it's done, no more. Another tip is to do your homework as soon as you get home. My parents raised me to always get my homework done as soon as I get home, so it's a force of habit. It's just a habit of mine. As soon as I get home, I do my homework, and then I eat dinner, and then I relax and take a shower and relax. When doing your homework as soon as you get home, it helps you not forget all the assignments that you have. But doing your homework as soon as you get home is a sense of discipline, and it really just helps you get your work and all the hard stuff out of the way, so the next day you can focus on your next assignments and your next lessons that they'll be teaching you. It teaches you to not be behind. So another tip is you can get a planner and a binder and be organized. Being organized and having a planner helps you like write everything that you have to do down on a to-do list and a to-do sheet, and it helps you keep track of everything that you have planned and that you need to do. I get everything done when I write things down on paper for a to-do list. So this list that I have right here, it kind of looks weird, but this list that I have in my hand, it's helping me not forget anything that I have to say in this video. You can use the same strategy for your work at school. So all of my basketball events, all of my school events, all of my after school activities, I put that on the board, and my parents put their stuff too, and my brother as well. And for school, I get a planner and I write all of my assignments and stuff in my planner. So it's two different types of life organization things. And when you get a binder, make sure you are always constantly cleaning it out. So throwing away papers that you don't need, as well as in your backpack too, because you don't want to pile a bunch of papers that you don't need in your backpack or your binder, because that's not being a straight A student. That is not being organized. That's not being smart. It's just helpful when you clean everything out, just like cleaning your room. A clean room is a clean mind, something like that. Another tip is you want to make sure that you're taking good notes. There's this note-taking strategy called Cornell notes. In my Avid class, we learned about it, and she always made us take notes in the Cornell format. So it really helps. So what you do, I think, is you put the title, and then you put on the side a couple of questions, and then as you take notes, you're breaking it down into sections in each of those questions. That's one of the most efficient ways to take notes, and there are other ways too that you can look up. Another tip is to find the time to study after school. I know that can be really hard when you if you do sports, or if you're in an after school club or organization, or if you just have a busy life in general. As soon as I come home, I do my homework, or I at least take 30 minutes to do my work. But when I can, I make sure that I study, or at least go over the materials that we learned that day. And it could just be something as for 30 minutes, I'll go over something that I feel I need to go over again to refresh it in my brain. But I don't actually study, I just go over it or look at my notes again, or I try to teach myself material that I learned that day so that I actually understand it in my head. And last but not least, the last tip is you can use Quizlet, Kahoot, or some type of flashcards. For Spanish, thank God I don't have to take Spanish anymore, but for Spanish, we had to learn vocabulary words, and every 9 weeks I would put those vocabulary words in Quizlet and put the definition on them. And I would always use those flashcards on Quizlet to memorize those vocabulary words, and it really helped a lot. I always made 100 or a 90 on those vocabulary tests, and it really helped. You don't have to use this just for Spanish, you can use it for other classes as well. And yeah, that's the last of the tips on how to maintain all A's and get a 4.0 GPA. Yeah, I use all these tips for me. You can use these as well. You can trust me as well, because for the past, actually all my life I've made all A's, but for the past 2 years of being in high school, I've had a 4.0 GPA, and I also had I've been in the top 10 or less % of my class. So you can trust me because I make good grades. You're not getting false information, not here, not at all. Make sure you guys comment, share, subscribe, put in the comments what other videos you want me to post, and I'll be making more back to school content starting now. Bye guys.